It's funny because it's true, right? Hey folks, it's Carrie from Pretty Neat. Thanks for joining me. If you're new here to my channel, welcome. I share videos here every week about organizing and decluttering your home and adopting a minimalist mindset. So I hope you'll hit the subscribe button and stick around. Today I want to talk about a topic that I think is really important when we're trying to organize our homes. And that is this idea of inventory. The inventory that I'm referring to is basically all of the stuff that's in your house. The reason why inventory has such a big impact on our organizational efforts is really very simple. It comes down to the fact that the more stuff you have, the more difficult it is to stay organized. And I think this is kind of obvious. However, we really lose sight of it when we're looking around our home and we're feeling frustrated by clutter. We often just think we don't have the right systems in place, or that we're just not spending enough time keeping things tidy, when really a big part of the problem is that there's just so much stuff that it's making it really difficult to organize it. When people reach out to me as a professional organizer looking for help, they're looking for me to come in and to tell them what shelves they need to put up, or what bins they need to buy, or do they need specialty dividers for their drawers. And while all of those types of products can certainly help, in almost every case, the issue is the inventory. The issue is there's just so much stuff that it's making it really hard to keep it organized. This is not the answer that people typically want to hear, and I totally understand that. It's much more fun to think, oh, I'm gonna buy these cool containers at the store, and that's gonna be the answer to all my organizational problems. And unfortunately, the harder thing to do is to go through your stuff and make decisions about what to get rid of. That is something that most people don't enjoy doing. And if you are at a point where your home is really disorganized, it might be something that you've been putting off for a while. So that's a hard truth, but I'm here to say that the issue is usually too much stuff and not so much the organizational system or layout or products. You know, you can go through your house and rearrange those things over and over again, but if there's just more stuff than will reasonably fit in your storage spaces, no amount of rearranging is going to fix that. The other reason why inventory is so important when it comes to keeping an organized home has to do with our mental state. Most women who have families, they are typically the household manager by default. This is due to a lot of different reasons, and I could go on a whole rant about the expectations placed on women and the emotional labor that women do that is totally uncompensated. But let's just say that in most cases where it's a heterosexual couple, and particularly when there are children involved, the woman is typically the household manager by default. And it falls on the woman to remember everything that is in the home, and it falls on the woman to be able to remind everyone where those things are located. There was this artist that I used to really love her stuff. I don't know if she's still making new things, but her name is Ann Tainter, and she takes these vintage advertisements and then puts these really kind of snarky captions on them. And there was one of this like 50s era couple standing in front of an open refrigerator, and the comment was, "It's funny because it's true," right? So for many reasons, patriarchy, gender role expectations, whatever, most women who have a husband, who have families, are household manager by default, and it falls to them to keep track of the household inventory. And this is a huge job, right? It's trying to remember where everything is located. It's trying to just remember what is in your house, what things you own. You have to remember if things need to be maintained in a specific way or on a specific schedule. Certain things might have to be stored certain places, or they might have to be cleaned, and it's just a lot. And so I think a lot of the overwhelm about disorganization, particularly for women, comes from this role of being the household manager and being then by default the manager of the household inventory. So one thing that would certainly help with this would be dividing up that labor of managing the household among more people in the household, specifically among the adults. But again, for a lot of reasons, that is not often the case. And so if you are the household manager by default or by choice, whatever, you can make your life so much easier by simply reducing the inventory in your home. And this goes for people too, like me, who live alone. The less we have, the less we have to be responsible for. And this is why when people start getting into decluttering and really start paring things down, they feel this sense of freedom. That freedom is the reduced amount of responsibility of just the weight of remembering and maintaining this huge inventory of stuff. So how to actually go about reducing your inventory is a bigger topic. I do have other videos here on my channel where I get into some of the nitty-gritty of paring things down, of asking yourself questions about what's important to keep and what you can get rid of. I'll link to some things down below that would be helpful. But let's just say that this is the single most important thing you can do in terms of organizing your home, just paring things down. If you can mentally think about all of the storage spaces in your home, the cabinets, the closets, the drawers, and think about reducing the amount of stuff in those spaces by, say, 1/3, it would probably be so much easier to organize those spaces, right? There are really a few advantages here. It's easier to keep an organized home when you have less stuff. And it also just kind of reduces the amount of overwhelm that you feel when you're at home because you don't have so much that you have to maintain and remember. I work with a lot of parents in my job, and I know that this is particularly challenging when you have kids, especially little kids. They need so much stuff, and it's just so hard to keep a calm, tidy home when you have little ones running around. There's going to be messes sometimes when you have kids. That's just how life is. But this idea of reducing the inventory of their stuff really can make a huge difference in making your life easier. If they have fewer toys, cleanup is easier. If they have fewer clothes, laundry is easier. If they have fewer books, it's easier to decide what to read. It's easier to store them, all of that. So I have put together a course. I've partnered with Katie Henry. She is a childcare expert and she knows way more about kids than I do. And we have created this course. It's called Too Much Kids Stuff. It's available now, and I will be sure to link it in the description box below. In this course, we give you step-by-step guides for reducing the inventory of all of the major categories of kids stuff in your home. So we talk about clothes, toys, books, crafts, and even paperwork, which is a big topic. But we give you a step-by-step guide for going through each of those categories, paring things down, deciding what's important to keep and what you can get rid of. We give you ideas about storing things, about putting some of your inventory away so that you only have a reduced amount that you have to worry about in the current rotation. And we even provide some links to products that we have used and had success with that can help you once you've pared down to really tweak that system and make it easy to maintain. So if this sounds interesting, if you'd like to learn more information, there'll be a link in the description box for my course, Too Much Kids Stuff. And if you look down in the description box, I also have a discount code that's going to be available for a limited time, but it will save you $25 on the course. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. I share videos here every week about organizing and decluttering your home and adopting a minimalist mindset. Talk to you soon.